Hi, Steve from Custom Table Tennis, and what we're going to do today, it's been asked a few times, so we thought we'd do this one, and then the next one we're going to have a look at the head size of your bat. But what we're going to look at today is actually the handle size. So bringing the first one in, I'll bring in the Timo ball. This one's a little bit of a surprise for us because I thought all butterfly handles were the same. So this is a Ball ALC, one of the most popular selling blades. We'll just do, what I'll do is I'll do the dimensions this way. So we've got 25.4, moving up, we've got 32.9, and then that way we've got 24.3. And the surprise was, I thought they'd all be the same, but the Viscaria definitely has a different feel. It's a little bit chunkier. So if we do the same format, so we've got 26.3 that way. We've got 33.5. I think the difference is here. Slight variation. But it's all about feel, and if you can possibly try some blades, bats from people in your club, try as many handles as you can. You've got 7 sensory points on your hand, so your blade, your hand at 7 points is in contact with the handle, and it's whatever feels comfortable for you. There's no right or wrong. We'll have a look at the Stradivarius. So that one, 27.9, moving up, 34 dead that way, 23.6. This one of the guys mentioned he really liked this one, but I don't know if you can pick it out, that it's a little bit wider there and it doesn't taper quite as much, and he said it's the most comfortable bat he's had in his hand, and that goes for all the Kiso Inoki blades. Even though the blades are thicker, the handles are pretty much the same. So if we look at it that way, we've got 28.3 moving up to 33.4 that way, 23.7. So it is noticeably different. We've checked them all and they've all got that sort of, it doesn't taper as much, so it feels in the hand, the feel is a little bit better. We'll just have a look at ours. 26.1 moving to 33.7, and that way 24.5. Moving on to the Stiga, and this one is a bit of a head scratcher for me. We're just going to knock on the door, so we'll be back. As I was saying, this one's a bit of a head scratcher for us. I mean, first of all, I think we were informed that they're no longer making the Anatomic, and considering that they claim that it's the world's best-selling blade, I don't dispute that because it's been around since 1967. But originally, it was called a hand salsa, named after the player, and it was a nice chunky grip. And then it became the Legend, which is must have been around about 20 years. They just changed the design, and probably it's still made in the same factory. And getting in there, still made in Sweden. But what is a mystery? And we used to buy 100 Legends. Now we're buying 4 or 5 of these, and as I say, it's a bit of a head scratcher for us. This is the Master, which is the smaller of the two, which is a smaller grip, and to my mind, if they was going to discontinue the one, they should have discontinued this and kept the Legend. But that's just my opinion. But the sales do actually prove that is the case. So if we have a look at this one, then there's the thinner one, and I've got one of the problems also, and you can pick it out, is some people say, oh, have you got a longer handle, it's cutting into my hand. But if you can pick that out, that has run down a little bit into there. I mean, if I was playing with that, I'd have to get the Dremel out and get into that a little bit to bring it up. A little bit more about that later. In fact, because I've got one here, I'll bring it out and show you that down to there it's about 35 mil. So I'd have to get rid of that if I was playing with it, but we sell loads of them. I don't muck around with them because that's how they are. Getting back to the measurements then on this Stiga Master, 26.4, but I'm actually on the wooden bit, down to 34.3 and then 24.8. So bit of a mystery. The ones that we send out, if you buy a Stiga flared offers now with rubbers or without rubbers, this is what you're going to get these days. I'm not poo-pooing Stiga. I like Stiga, but if I was going to discontinue one, it would have been this one, not the Legend. I mean, the Legend is called a Legend for a reason. So if I move on to something totally different, this is where the Bespoke grip comes in. And I know when we first met Paul 5 years ago that he did base his grip loosely, no pun intended, loosely on the Legend. It'll be 99% similar feel, except he's got his thumb grip in there, and I'll get to that in a minute. Let's just have a look then. So if you want something a little bit chunkier, so we're bang up on 27 there, coming down to 36.6, which is where the old Legend used to be really, and then 25.2. So thing about this one, and people have asked us, oh, if I send me batting, will you do that? Well, the answer is no, sorry. He's got too much to do. But that, so many people say, remember, it's about feeling your hand. That thumb grip, where your thumb actually sits in there, so it's out of the way, it's not out of here somewhere. Stunning blades. I'll bring the scales in because the guy who's coming to get this one, he's having rubbers on it. He said, do you think you can get me 70 grams or under? I said, well, I'll ask Paul, see where he can get with this one, and let's have a look. Let's see where we are. So the answer was yes, we can get you 70 grams or under on this particular blade. So this is it's got the Zebrano handle, and it's got the black limber and a balsa core. Beautiful thing, plays beautiful. So the next obvious choice then is to go with the same thing. Now this is an anatomic grip. So for those who don't know, I think I've probably covered it before. An anatomic is got a little bit of a bump there and fits in the hollow of your hand. And I played, first of all, when I started playing 40 years ago, I had a flared. Then I found that I liked the anatomic, and then I ended up with a straight. No other reason than the fact that I was lucky that I've been able to try lots and lots of grips. If I didn't play with the straight, I would probably play with that one. Fits beautifully in the hand. Another lightweight blade. This one's going out today as well. I'm rushing through these because we're actually going to have to get them out. So that's another one, stunning, and it's got the round over. I'm going to come to that at the end. I'm going to show you the different handle types. So that leaves me then with a dilemma for myself, because here are 3 straight handles based on the John Cheu. So what is the John Cheu? Let us do that one first. It was based on his 35-year-old blade that we couldn't replace. I says, well, let us try and get as near as we can. And as soon as I got it in my hand, everything else that went out the window. This was the grip for me personally, because it just fits in my hand and I can twiddle it round. And I didn't go for a thumb grip, and I didn't go for anything. I'd just gone for the flat. But love that blade, but I've got a bit of a dilemma coming up. I haven't got to the dilemma yet. This is the same blade with the thumb grip. So all it is exactly the same handle. I'll tell you what I'll do on this one, because I didn't do it on that one. I'll give you the dimensions because they're going to be exactly the same. So dimensions on this one. So you've got 30.9 and then 24.2. What you'll notice is it's slightly squared off, which is replicated from a 35 to 40 year old blade that is no longer available, used by a top defender in the world. So this one's used by Josh Bramley because he prefers the thumb grip and he's still able to twiddle it round. These are for, not necessarily for defenders, but a lot of defenders use these. So the dilemma for me, and it's only because the customer requested it. So we talked about the thumb grip. So what is the thumb grip? For those of a certain age, you'll remember the Stellan Bengtsson that had a little round over here. So you can have a left hand or a right hand. Most people go for the right hand here. So that thumb grip is shaped and your thumb just fits round nicely. There's nothing cutting into you. There's no sharp edges. It's exactly the same on the other side. This is a combination blade. So it's got a fast walnut side. So walnut on one side, maple on the other, sycamore there. Beautiful, beautiful blade. He's catching up. He's got a few back orders at the moment. So just before we go, I'll bring in, because somebody was asking the other day, he says, can I have this handle, can I have that, can I have the other? To explain why we have a lot of walnut. If you want to keep the weight down, you're looking at the walnut, which is, mine's a walnut. I don't mind it. There's different shades of it. It depends from what batch it's from. And as you can see, before we start shaping, it's 47 grams. Then if you move up to the Zebrano, 53, but from batch to batch, look at that. So we've got to be just careful with the handles. Probably is not using this because it just turned out too heavy. It's a lot denser. And then as we move on to the maple, you see you've got another 10 grams. It won't be 10 grams because you're shaping it into a handle, but you can see where we're going with this. And then we've got the Wengi, very, very popular, beautiful, nicely when it's polished up. Goes on a lot of our blades. But you can see the weight. Look at that. It's massive. So you've got 20 grams there. So you probably, when you've chopped it down into a handle, you probably still got 15, something like that difference just on the handle. And then one that we're probably not going to go with, beautiful bit of Bubinga, but it's the same size. All these are the same size, but look at the weight, 84. I don't think we'll be putting any Bubinga handles on anything anytime soon. So just to finish off then, and I hope I've simplified it and not complicated it. So you've got your standard blades. You need to be trying as many as you can. We can bespoke them, but just because you sent them across for people to have a look at, that's a flat thumb grip with no round over, and that's what I'm using at the moment. That's a flat thumb grip with a round over. You can clearly see it there. So if you're right-handed, that would fit into your hand with the round over there. And then we've got with a concave thumb grip. If I put it to the side, you can see that clearly. Your thumb sits in there because it's all about feel. And then, as I say, just to throw a spanner in the works, I might be getting these on my blades. I might be getting the double round over. I'll have to try one and see, but that is really comfortable compared to what I'm using. So that's a double. Remember, you can have a left or a right just on one side. The only thing I can liken it to is the old Bengtsson from the 70s. So I hope this is a bit of an insight into the different types of grip. If you're thinking of what you need, try as many as you can at the club. What we're going to do next to tie in with this, the next video, is I'm going to talk about head sizes and what do they mean. Why have we got umpteen different head sizes? Why is some small, some medium, some large, and which one would be the right one for you? So don't forget, like and subscribe, hit the button, you'll never miss another video, and get your stuff from customtabletennis.co.uk. We're making an effort here to put these things on for you, and we're getting positive reviews saying, oh, I look forward to your reviews coming through. So there you go. So Steve from Custom Table Tennis, bye for now.